Fala galera, tudo bom com vocês? Natália de Vivo de volta para gravar mais um vídeo especialmente para vocês do canal Elas na Pista. No vídeo de hoje eu trago os melhores momentos da segunda etapa do W Series Sport League, o campeonato virtual da categoria feminina. Essa segunda etapa aconteceu nessa quinta-feira, hoje mesmo, lá no COTA Circuit of the Americas, lá em Austin, nos Estados Unidos. E tiveram aí alguns grandes destaques que, se você assistiu o vídeo até o final, eu vou falar sobre essa rodada tripla e vou falar também quem que chamou minha atenção e eu acho que vocês têm que ficar de olho. Então, coloca aí bastante confortável, pega a pipoquinha, pega a coquinha para assistir os melhores momentos dessa rodada tripla. Antes de tudo, entretanto, já deixa aquela curtida, já comenta, já compartilha com todo mundo que gosta do assunto e não deixa de se inscrever no canal para receber sempre notícias, receber sempre análises e ficar por dentro do mundo das mulheres do esporte a motor. Então se liga aí nos melhores momentos.
Racing then for round number 2, race number 1, and we do go green here then, ladies and gentlemen, and it is this who gets a terrible start. So Wood up into P1 then, and I think Marta Garcia is going to take P1 as well. So already 2 changes of lead. We've got 4 cars trying to go into 1, 3 wide through turn 1, through the apex, and they all get through there nicely. And what has happened here, Visser is in P3, it's all good, but Marta Garcia leads the way then through this first technical section. It's so difficult to make an overtake through here, so got the job done early. Fantastic stuff then side by side, and as soon as she pulls out of the slipstream, just loses some straight line speed. So I'm wondering whether there might have been some contact here and a little bit of damage. They head up towards the hairpin here. Such a long run before they start another long run, to be fair. You can see that actually Visser will get into P2 then. So Marty moves down into P3, and this battle I think is indeed going to last out this whole race here. They've got Wood in behind them then, trying to get a little bit of redemption from the good qualifying, poor race start. And then we've got Powell up to P5, great stuff there. Then Hawkins in P6, and then winner from race number 2, it is Kimmerleinen in P7. Belen Garcia is in P8. Redest then flew under the radar last week, did Redest, currently in the top 4 of the championship. Didn't really have any standout performances. It just goes to show that consistency is indeed key of Visser. And well, could Marta Garcia become our 3rd race winner in 4 races today? Again, it looks like Visser is closing down, and you know, what was it, 1.8 seconds? Of course, Visser had to make the overtake on Marty. What's going through Marta Garcia's head right now, Billy?
This is always a tricky situation to be in. You're in the lead of the race, you want a nice gap, you want to be relaxed as possible, but when you've got someone like Visser coming from 1.8 seconds down to 4 tenths, it clearly looks like she's got a clear pace advantage over Marta Garcia. And there's still 8 minutes left of the race. There's still multiple laps left of this race. If it was last lap, you may think, okay, I can defend this, but at the rate she's coming, I think Marta Garcia is now fully watching her mirrors and trying to predict where she's going to place the car to keep the lead.
Yeah, it certainly won't be easy. They are all professional racing drivers, of course. They've actually got a back marker here to deal with as well. I'm not too sure who that might be. Is it Abby Eaton? I think they've already lapped Piria. It might be Piria, actually, as they come down in towards the hairpin here. We will just get a look here, and actually the back marker's out of the way there. We don't see who it was. And Visser does take the lead of this race then up in towards, and actually used the back marker there a little bit, because the Marta Garcia could not get the maximum to open up that hairpin. So Visser now leads the race here, and now Marta has got to try and get back ahead here. Visser has been the dominant driver so far in this championship, and well, it doesn't seem like it's changing anytime soon.
Yeah, Marta Garcia has really got to use these few corners here in particular.
Now very well indeed, with 3 minutes remaining of this race. And you see a couple of back markers there having a pretty poor race, unfortunately. But again, they're having a poor race right now, Billy. 2 seconds as it stands, with 40 seconds left on the clock. So I think we are just about going to start another lap here. So this will be the final lap of the race coming up. As they come around the final few corners here, is Garcia then in 2nd position. Marta Garcia, again, announcing herself within this W Series Esports League today. You know, how's the fortunes going to change over the next couple of races? It's nice to see her at the front once again. Marty then is in P3. Powell in P4. Wood, again, half a second behind Powell. I think that might indeed sort itself out before the end of this race. I think we're going to see some pretty cool action, maybe up into turn 1 as we look at Powell and Wood in P4 and P5. Visser, though, still leading out there by 3.8 seconds. It's going to take a monumental error for her to indeed lose this race. But yeah, dominant performance. A bit of a mistake at the start that maybe would have lit a fire underneath Visser to get things right, but she's done everything right since lap 1, yeah.
it just shows the level of competition and how competitive these girls are, that making a mistake off the line, she didn't lose her head, she kept her cool, she picked her way back through into the leader race, and I mean, this has been a real dominant performance from Visser here. Yeah, incredible pace that she seems to have over the other girls at the minute. Marta Garcia, I thought she may try and adjust some lines, maybe try and hang with her for a bit longer in the race, but P2, there's some good points on the board there, so if she can bring it home in P2, we'll be starting ahead of Visser for the race 2.
And well, apart from a little chink in the armour on turn number 1 or lap number 1, Biska Visser will take the race victory here in round number 2. On pole, we're about to go green then for race number 2. And here we go. It is Vicky Piria that leads the way here, but Tomaselli has actually not got the best of starts, to be fair. Look at this, it's almost 5 wide then in behind as they come up towards turn number 1. And very late on the brakes there is Tomaselli. Tomaselli trying to get up into the lead. And well, Piria runs off circuit. A little bit of carnage in the background here, but everyone gets through pretty damn nicely. 3 wide then as we're on board with Gosha Rades. Rades was incredible last week. We're just going under the radar, really. Again, didn't have any real stance
at the back of the grid. So obviously some stuff unfolding at the back. We'll be interested to see how it all sort of ranks up after 1 lap. But here we go. He's up there 4 wide into the corner onto the back straight here. Ardest, Agron spun. Victoria is now caught up in it. It's all kicking off.
Radest has just done a dive bomb of all dive bombs there. It went 4 wide momentarily, and it looks like then she is up to P2 then. And again, the leaders are all still pretty damn close here. More than is in P4. And actually Eaton, Abby Eaton up into P2 as well here. So Eaton's got the job done. And well, the front, what is it, the front 6, front 8, front 9, front 10 are all very close. Sidakova has been involved in an incident at the start of this race. All of the title protagonists are involved in...
Over the start-finish line, starting lap 2, but Naomi Schiff here, who's she did have some up the inside of her, but I think she had slight damage, so you lose a bit of straight line performance with that on iRacing.
Well, Moore makes a late dive up the inside there, and actually Schiff goes up the inside of both of them. So, yeah, Schiff has just gained another couple of spots here. And at this point, Billy, it's put a load of names in a hat. Pick one out. Who's going to win this race?
Well, Alice Powell's up into the top 10. She's P9. A good first lap. Oh, we've got some side-by-side action in Sector 1. That's not normally where you'd see a pass. So the fact that they're side-by-side there shows how ball...
A lot of pressure here from Hawkins. So Hawkins, again, a bit of an unsung hero, actually battling for second position. We've got Belen Garcia then, who was at the sharp head, right at the front, was in P2, was actually taking the option then to get a fast repair. Jessica Hawkins, though, P2. This is great stuff here. And, wow, look at this then. Sidorkova is up to P3. Damage to be fixed, again, is paying off dividends here. But there's the move then for P2. Oh, that's a beautiful move there through the double left-hander. That is unbelievable. And unfortunately there, for Hawkins just runs a little bit wide. But that is sensational.
Yeah, a great move. It's a very difficult braking zone there because you're turning whilst braking. It's so easy to lock a wheel. And I think we saw that there. She actually did slightly make a bit of a lock-up. So the fact she managed to make that move stick at 16 years of age, pulling off that sort of manoeuvre is something incredible, really.
Very reminiscent of a young Dutch driver called Max Verstappen around the circuit, such as COTA. So yeah, it's great to see the parallels. But as it stands, though, again, it's still Kimmerleinen leading, losing a little bit of time every single lap, but with 7.5 seconds, you are going to take a little bit of time off your lap times. I don't think Sidorkova can, or even this in the victory. So that means we'd still only have 2 winners in this championship as it stands. And Kimmerleinen, well, we saw the interview with Lee, and she was so shocked about getting that result. And well, just going to prove here that she's here to party. She's here to win potentially this esports.
And feeling the effect of that down the straights. But at the minute, it looks just the gap's a bit too big.
Yeah, Kimmerleinen has been dominant from start to finish here. 3.4 second lead as we come up towards the second of the 2 last left-handers. I think this is all but done here. 1 more corner to go. And Emma Kimmerleinen, after winning race number 2 last week at Monza, it's looking like it's going to be another race victory here then for Kimmerleinen, and maximum points here for race 2, round number 2.
Yeah, it's a great result for Kimmerleinen, being 2 times the reverse grid winner over the first 2 events. Yeah, that's an awesome job from her. Well,
actually, looks like they may have just cut the timing beam as it transitions. So this is the final lap of the race. We get an extra lap here, Billy, and actually it might be the commentator's curse coming home here, because it's now 2.7 seconds. So we might see a battle for the lead, and well, Powell's being dragged along here by Sidorkova. So just to give you, ladies and gentlemen watching at home, a little bit of insight, once they cross the line at 0, they get another lap. So that was too close to the 0 for it to be counted as the last lap, so this is now the white flag. So sometimes that happens within iRacing, that's just the way it is. It even caught me out, and I've got experience for years within the game here. But it just gives us an extra lap here as it stands. But it's 2.7 seconds. Again, it's just going to take one small mistake here, and potentially Kymäläinen could lose this. This race has been so good, I get to call the race winner twice. Emma Kymäläinen then, winner from race number 2, round 1. And well, here at COTA, it's race 2, the reverse grid. Number 3, and well, we are indeed green here, and well, Visser has got the start that she wanted here. It's almost 3 wide though for P3 in behind them, and it is Tasmin Pepper who is into P2 here. P3 I believe it's Sidorkova already, so Sidorkova now actually down to P4, runs a little bit wide there, but it is Visser who does get a good start. Look at this, up the inside, then it's Wood trying to take P4, and I think Wood's got the job done. So Sidorkova went up to P3 momentarily from P5, and now back into P5, so nothing lost, nothing gained. Result here, but in a very strong podium spot already.
Yeah, she's doing a great job. She has, like you say, gone under the radar a bit. But yeah, being in P3, she's very close, only 6 tenths behind Pepper. She's just like I say, got to stay in that sort of 6th, 7th, 10th window, because that's where you'll see the effect of following and getting the extra performance in a straight line from a slipstream.
I don't think anyone's told Kymäläinen that there isn't a reverse grid race after this, because she's just dropped down from 6th to looks like P18. Looks like Piria's just dropping down as well. Volvend dropping down, so maybe a little bit of contact happening there. Front 6 though, separated by very little. So we're going to see some circuits where they've raced before as well from last season. So that's going to be very, very interesting. Of course, COTA, this is the first time some of these drivers would have ever had an opportunity here to race around. It's such a new circuit anyway. That's the same for any driver.
About damaging the car, and the damage has a bit more effect than in sim racing, where, like you say, you can make use of that fast repair in the race and get back out there. There's an element of there's a bit of lack of caution, I'd say, in sim racing sometimes, because girls, they just want to go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Why not? This is at the very same time.
Yeah, we can see it's not just at the front where they're making this move into this tight left-hander with tricky braking. The moves are happening all throughout the grid there. These girls, it doesn't matter what position they're fighting for, if it's P1 or like 15, 16, wherever they are on the grid, they're fighting for their position and they're fighting hard, which is exactly what we want to see. Yeah,
looks like Marta Garcia may have just got the job done then on Tomaselli, and Tomaselli is actually now into P8, so not ideal then. I don't know, I'm not too sure who it was. Was it Agron maybe, who's lost the damage to the car? Was it Moore? It might be Moore, actually, as we look at the timing screens there. But Woods actually up into the podium spots, but the one person that's not going to bother here, Billy, is Visser. Visser leads by 3.4 seconds as we head then to the last 12 minutes of race number 3.
Yeah, she is truly, like I say, she's at this point here, she's probably managing her pace. You can see them battling behind her, and all that's doing is them battling behind her is just costing them lap time and giving her an advantage. But obviously they're not going to not fight for position. These girls aren't wired up like that. As a racing driver, you go for every gap, and tactically you don't think about things like that too far ahead, so they are just focused.
For a position, you also have to change the way that they think about corners as well. Get them thinking about what they're doing opposed to how they're going to move forward in a race. So very, very clever there from Schiff, but the cleverest driver on the grid right now is Visser. Visser is absolutely dominating right now. Sidorkova, by the way, was just over a second behind in P3. Now close that gap.
Yeah, it's good to see that she's coming back now towards the end of this race. She's getting into that sort of range where she's going to benefit in a straight line from the slipstream. And seeing how she progressed in the reverse grid race and how composed she's been in the first sort of 5 races of this series so far, I wouldn't be too comfortable if I was in P2 myself.
No, absolutely not. It's in P3. Marty then is in P4. No, Visser is still in the lead of this race. I'm not too sure what is going on right now, but yeah, basically Visser is still leading, so it's all good there. God, panic averted. Crikey, I thought it was all over.
Yeah, me too. I mean, our graphics here showed that Visser had dropped out of the race. A little bit of panic set in as we thought, oh, it's all gone up in the air with just 1 lap to go, or on the last lap right now. But yeah, her performance has warranted us to be more comfortable than we were just then.
Yeah, quite. That was, yeah, not ideal. Through the double left-hander then for Visser. Again, it is the final lap of today's race. Wood then in P2, Silokova in P3, Pepper in P4, and Marty in P5. But we haven't really spoke about Visser in terms of the dominance. It's been incredible from Beitske. Visser, again, took a double win in Monza, and it's looking very likely here as well at COTA.
Bom, vocês conferiram aí os melhores momentos das 3 corridas que a gente teve essa tarde lá nos Estados Unidos. E eu vou trazer aqui alguns nomes que eu acho que merecem ser exaltados, enaltecidos e merecem ficar de olho para as próximas etapas. Primeiro, obviamente, foi a Beitske Visser, ela que repetiu o ótimo feito da primeira etapa que rolou na semana passada lá em Monza, na Itália. Ela venceu a primeira e a terceira corrida. Ela está se saindo muito bem no campeonato. Na primeira corrida ela conseguiu se recuperar de uma largada ruim, ela que saiu da pole position conseguiu se recuperar para garantir a vitória. Na segunda ela largou em último e ainda cruzou a linha de chegada na 6ª colocação, e na terceira ela fez valer a pole position de novo e venceu de ponta a ponta, foi a maior pontuadora da etapa, foi incrível e merece muitas palmas por todo esse desempenho que ela tem mostrado aí no campeonato virtual. Quem também foi muito bem, eu já tinha falado na semana passada, foi a Irina Sidorkova, a russa, jovem, tá mostrando aí extremo talento no mundo dos esportes, no mundo do automobilismo virtual. Ela que conseguiu aí 2 pódios, na primeira corrida ela foi só 8ª, mas depois ela chegou em segunda na corrida do grid reverso e em terceira na última prova, então ela foi a segunda maior pontuadora da etapa, da rodada tripla. Ela é uma jovem russa que você merece também ficar bastante de olho nela, porque ela tá mandando muito bem. Bom, a Emma Kymäläinen também, ela que, assim também como em Monza, conseguiu a vitória na segunda corrida do grid reverso, né, do grid invertido. A Vicky Piri, ela chegou a largar da pole position, mas perdeu a posição para Bruna Tomazelli, sim, a brasileira chegou a liderar a prova, só que as duas acabaram se enroscando aí em acidentes diferentes, e quem se aproveitou de todo bololô foi a Emma Kymäläinen, que conseguiu aí cruzar a linha de chegada na primeira colocação. E o último nome que eu trago aqui é da Alice Powell. Sim, a inglesa brilhou demais nessa etapa. Ela conseguiu 2 pódios em Austin e vale falar que na segunda corrida ela terminou na 3ª colocação após recuperar 14 postos no pelotão. Sim, ela conseguiu limar 14 pilotas para terminar no pódio. Ela teve um desempenho brilhante nos Estados Unidos que rendeu ela saltar da 10ª colocação da classificação para a 3ª no campeonato. Então, assim, a inglesa mandou muito bem. Bom, depois da segunda etapa, quem continua na liderança, obviamente, é a Beitske Visser, com 100 pontos. Ela está brilhando no campeonato. Em segunda é a Irina Sidorkova. Completando o top 5 vem Alice Powell, Nerea Martin e Caitlin Wood. A Bruna Tomazelli acabou tendo alguns problemas nessa etapa, então ela está mais no final da tabela, mas ela também mandou muito bem, então merece também palmas pelo desempenho que ela tem tido. Bom, pessoal, o vídeo de hoje é isso. Comenta aqui embaixo se vocês assistiram, o que vocês acharam, quero saber tudo. Valeu e até a próxima!